people to go out and come in. Well, a rainy night. Really? This is my latest poetry book. We have it here at, to be continued. I shouldn't say we. I say Sergio and Karen have it here for sale, along with a travel journal from Southeast Asia 1970, which is printed and for sale. But this is from 2005, done, so that's done 8 years ago, just about. And it's poetry, essays, and calligraphy. I am a calligrapher of Japanese and Chinese. I am a martial arts practitioner still, and teacher, poet. I wanted to read 2 poems in Japanese with English translation. Voices from Japan. I lived and worked twice in Japan. My parents also lived and worked in Japan before I was born. Teachers, them and me. Here come some people. Hello, good evening. Come on in. I'm David.
Hi, David.
Hi. Danny just finished performing, singing, playing the guitar. So I'm going to do spoken word. Before I start spoken word, let me show you some written word done by a Japanese descendant of one of the daimyo, the feudal lords. And this is his calligraphy. He's passed now, but it's an aphorism. Mia, do you know what an aphorism is? You know. Who can tell Mia? From Africa? Oh, there may be aphorisms from Africa, but no, an aphorism is like a pithy saying, like, it's raining cats and dogs. That's an aphorism of a sort. So anyway, poetry. Okay. I was born and raised in New Jersey, basically. Definitely born in New Jersey. I was raised partially in Asia during the Vietnam War as a young civilian. But here's a poem, This Jersey Soil. This Jersey soil, small bit of bone, sea water, and sinew that I am, today again I planted crocus bulbs in the side garden, thrust the dibble stick deep into loam, and when I took the squirrel from the trap to free it at the ecological preserve, I saw a bold woodchuck hustle through a distant clearing, and a 6-point buck cross traffic on the back road. Last week, cosmos blossoms pink, spiderwort blue, and chrysanthemums orange, colors yet in the late garden. Today, frost on every vine. I rake leaves into bags, again and again, seeing the ground scratched into a new order. Here on this land, 55 years in our family, we teeter into December, the moon rising toward a rendezvous with Earth's black shadow. Hello. Well, another short one, pretty short, because concentration is not too good tonight, I think, for most people, because of the storm. And it is a storm, isn't it? The first one of the season. But here we have chi, energy, spirit, life force of the universe, from the well of the stomach, from the palms of the hands pressed against the eyes, from the dancer as she salutes the sun. Golden flower, mask, chant, gesture, and robe of the no actor, touch of Zen abbot, mind of novice monk, recitation of the Heart Sutra, rock in scholar's garden, mountain stream, the mountains themselves. In the blue stained glass of windows at Chartres, in the flow of tide at Shinnecock, in the strut and stutter of a jazz drum solo, in the calligrapher's brush on mulberry paper, in the slide of a garter snake, in the sleeper's dream, in my feet as I walk the garden path, wet with afternoon rain, flowers and herbs brushing against my legs, in the church sanctuary, in the dojo, in the library, in all. Lifelong path of work and love, the mystery flowing, mystery around us, mystery within. And chi, you may not have gotten the title. Chi is the spirit, the energy of the unit. In Japanese, it's ki. This is chi. And many, I think, what is it? I forget other languages, what the spirit is. I forget. Well, anyway. Oh, what else to read? Danny, any ideas what I should read? A kind of poem?
I got nothing.
Okay, here we go then.
You got me on a brain dead night.
You did well. You. I don't. Okay, here's one. Here's one. I know which one I'm going to read. Yeah, fine. It's in the beginning here. Seiza meditation on my knees. Okay, this is a form. This will maybe help us, me and help you all. Seiza is a Japanese word for a form of meditation or sitting. When you're not sitting cross-legged on the ground, on the mats, but you're sitting seiza, as on a pillow or without any. I don't want to do it right here, but you get down on your knees and your feet are folded under you, and that's a form of meditation. So here we have Seiza meditation on my knees in Aliva. Sitting on this floor in my sister's house with huge cacti, gourds, long knives, and shells around me, I meditate on my knees, Seiza style. My practice now for 30 years. I look up at the holy Dewasanzan scroll, dynamic Japanese calligraphy naming the three gods of the three sacred mountains in Yamagata, northern Japan, Gassan, Yudono-san, Haguro-san. And think, 20 snows have passed since I climbed to that mountain village, Haguro, to bring back the 6 identical scrolls. The calligraphy is thick, most powerful, deep in its center, vibrant, like the 70-year-old mountain woman I met that late afternoon. I knelt in the small room on the tatami, the rice straw mats. It was like a little museum office. An early spring snowstorm was closing in as I chose from 3 samples of sacred calligraphy. We did not talk very much, and I paid the price she quoted. No haggling. Those Dewasanzan swordsmiths, asceticism being their rice and tea being their essence, forged and polished from their mountain wilderness the Gassan steel blades famed throughout Japan. The ancient 400-year-old cryptomeria lining the long stone staircase up to the wooden pagoda at Dewasanzan are still clear to me. Eyes half closed, in meditation, I remember, forget, and remember. Okay. Thank you. Another one. Then, all right. Well, let's see. I'm really sweating. Okay, let's see now. this is sad. We don't want a sad poem. Here's another sad poem. Another one.
No sad one.
Well, you want to hear? No, there are children here, right? Yes? Yes. Where-
Yes, there are.
Everybody's somebody's child.
Well, no, I better be careful because it's here. Well, let's see. Late May clouds in central Jersey. Okay. The fields of Cornell Dairy are peppered with yellow mustard. A few horses whip their tails. The Jersey cows have disappeared. 45 head. Cars pass by the old wooden fence. I wonder how much longer will this last farm in our neighborhood stand on its rolling hills. Commercial real estate reads a sign next to the white clapboard house. Leaden clouds of May. Rain this morning. Wet grass. The old tractor has sat in the field in the same place for 10 days. Little green shoots are coming up around it. I remember catching yellow swallowtail butterflies in these fields when I was 10, walked down a dirt road with my sisters carrying a long cotton net. Pin oaks on either side cast noonday shadow. I still love Cornell's sway-backed horses. I have gazed beyond the farm to the Watchung Hills. Know if they appear deep purple at dusk, the evening will be chilly. My father and I, along with Harry Werner and his 2 champions, St. Bernards, braved winds blasting over the farm's 75 acres during the 1958 blizzard. It was March. The driving flakes lashed my face. The dogs barked and romped. People were out walking, bent over. I hiked South Washington Avenue past snowdrifts, bulldozed 10 feet high, nighttime, 25 years ago. Only a few cars on the road. Orion and the Big Dipper clear. I ran in Aikido uniform along ditches near the field, mid-year of my 45th spring. Today, clouds of birds wheel in the air. Still, I can smell some open land. That's it. That'll be the end. Okay, right. Okay, good. So, short poetry in Japanese, written by me with the translation by me. 2 of them. Voices from Japan. 明るいうちに玉泉寺の庭赤ん坊の声 In daylight Garden of Gyokusenji Cry of an infant 遠くて冷たい羽衣雪残ってる山の上でこの5月15日 Cold remote village of Haguro Snow remains on mountaintop. This May 15th. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, Danny, for having us here. And thank you, Sergio. All right, thanks, Gary.
So while it isn't waiting for Paul, I guess I'll do one song so there's no blank space. And this is a song that I wrote. And then after that, we're going to have some comedy and then more music. So we actually have a pretty loaded schedule considering all the rain outside. So I'm very excited about that. Thank you all for showing up. And I will say today that I thought of, some of you know that I like to be funny when I can. I'll leave that to you whether or not I actually am. But I tried this out on Kim and she thought it was pretty funny anyway. And this dawned on me today that this would not only be a terrific I guess, motto or advertising slogan for an American car company who is trying to make a market out of the religious people. But also, it would be a fine lyric for a country song. And that is, let's see, I'm driving my Jesus Chrysler on the highway to heaven. I'll tell you, she thought it was funny, so she's the arbiter of all good taste, I gotta tell you. So, I'm gonna do one song that I wrote called Secondhand Rose, and then we're gonna welcome Paula. Secondhand Rose is, some of you may know and maybe not, remember an old secondhand music store in New York City. And it was in Lower Manhattan, and I thought it was such a great name that I decided just to co-opt the name. It's got nothing to do with a secondhand store or anything like that in the song, but I just thought it was such a wonderful character name that I needed to do something with it. So this is Secondhand Rose, and it's some of my very standard cheap pop rock. So that's what I do. 2-minute cheap sort of rock, you know. Secondhand rose just whiles away the hours that make up the day. She'll tell you everything's fine. Secondhand rose is going out of her mind. Secondhand rose will tell you she's not, but I tell you she smiles a lot. She's a lady who's going insane. Secondhand rose has got a good brain. Secondhand rose, no one knows. They are coming for Rosie today. Secondhand rose and the men that she dotes on are wearing the little white coats, and she really has nothing to say. They are taking Rosie away. Secondhand rose just smiles away the hours that make up the day, and she'll tell you everything's cool. Secondhand rose is nobody's fool. Secondhand rose, away she goes. They are taking poor Rosie away. Thank you very much. Secondhand rose, I'm sure I'm going to be back later, but now let's welcome Paul up. Paul, come on up.
Okay.
Almost. That whole
You can
thing
play the
there,
singing song.
that whole thing there was a segue to give you time to get ready. Okay, I'll be here until at least 10.
Thanks for
Maybe
coming.
later.
Thank you.
When everyone else is left, I may be here alone.
Thank you.
That's good.
Next.
Are you, you're already on?
I'm gonna tune a bit.
You're gonna tune a bit. All right. So I guess I'll do a 60s tune while we're waiting for Paul.
G, so that when I tune Len.
G.
Let's play the song in G.
Okay.
Len.
I am.
Okay, excellent.
So this is the Young Bloods. And actually, you know what? That's a lie, because I'm doing May, sorry. But I got a G in there. Love is but a song we sing, fears the way we die. You can make the mountains ring or make the angels sigh. Though the bird is on the wing, you may not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. I can't even remember the next line. You will surely pass. There you go. When the one who left us here returns for us at together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. If you hear the song we sing, you will understand. You hold the key to love and fear, holding a trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both. It's there at your command. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. I said, come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Right now, right now. Wrapping up with a filler, Paul?
Great.
Good. Finally, with no further ado, please welcome up Paul.
All right. All right.
I'll tell you about my day later, pal.
Oh yeah, sure. I didn't know what one of these was for a second.
One of those.
I was
No.
I didn't say it very loud. Well, I guess I am mic'd though. Is there any tricks with moving these around?
Into the mic.
Yeah. No, I don't know if they're, that's what it comes down to.
What's that?
Good, I don't want to owe you any money. I don't want to break anything.
That's
All right.
generally why I'm correct.
All right, so I've been torturing the folks in Metuchen lately. I've been coming out to Danny's open mic. Been playing the guitar. I got a 12-string guitar that I just really enjoy playing a lot. But decided that it was time to go back to the banjo. There's absolutely no reason for it, but I did. It's just fun to play. Anyway, so I'm gonna play some tunes. The first one I'm gonna play is an Alice Cooper song because I have a banjo. It's just kind of what happens. Oh, you know what? I think it's this tricky chord. Is this a tricky chord? Does it have like a nothing? Yeah. The storm. When there's a tear on my face, makes me shiver to the bone, it shakes me, babe. But it's just a heartache got caught in my eye, and you know I never cry. I never cry. Sometimes I drink more than I need, till the TV's dead and gone. Well, I may be lonely, but I'm never alone, and the night may pass me by. cried. Take away my eyes. Sometimes I'd rather be blind. Break a heart of stone. Open it up, but don't you leave it alone. That's all I got to give to you. Believe me, baby, it ain't been used. My heart's a virgin, ain't never been tried. And you know, whoops, you know, I never cried. I never cried. I gotta say, the sound's a little weird. It kind of feels like I'm singing my own ear, which is. I'm really sorry if that's what you're hearing. Anyway,
Good.
it's all right. Cool. All right. Thanks, guys. All right. This is a tune I wrote one day in the fall. I was walking down, the Metuchen walkway. I'm sure you've all been there.
Yep.
The greenway. I was walking on it. I wasn't doing anything green. So. You think you're happy and you think things are great as long as nothing changes. You got me. But things are moving, they're changing all the time, and you're just holding on. You're probably getting behind. Keep on moving. Nothing to see here anyway. I was probably ducking out of the way of bicycles. I was moved when I first saw your face. Didn't go nowhere, but I wasn't in the same place. Tried to catch a glimpse now before you were gone. Just when I thought I had it, you were moving on. Keep on moving. Nothing to see here anyway. Like something in a movie, it's something that eludes me. It's an opportunity, slowly oozing down the corridor, right out the back door. A little reminder of something that's never more. You thought you're happy and you think things are great, but everything's changing. Make no mistake. Who needs to hold on to something that doesn't exist? Best thing to do is let it from your crib and keep on moving. Nothing to see here anyway. Nothing to see here anyway.
Sounds all right.
Sounds okay. Good, thanks. It's just
Here, Paul, just in case you get tired.
I just got here from I went to the gym, and I was thinking I might need to sit.
Maybe.
Lindsay.
Who happens to be in the audience.
Right. Excellent.
What a
Well,
beautiful chair.
thank you, Sergio.
What a gorgeous piece of art. Thank you.
That's a cool chair.
Very neat.
And painted each one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had a nice table. It was this nice oak table, and someone I knew decided was watching one of those home shows, the network shows, those horrible things, and so she decided that this table would look better if she painted it black. And she was so wrong. She was so terribly wrong. This is a much better approach. I like this a lot.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Well, the other night we had a Bob's Beer and Bicycles. Bob's Beer and Bike. Bob Bikes and Beer, which was a lot of fun. Got to play some Bob Dylan songs that I've never done before. So this one stuck with me. She's got everything she needs. She's an artist. Don't look back. She's got everything she needs. She's an artist. Don't look back. Take the dark out of the nighttime and paint the daytime bright. try to steal her anything she sees. She'll start out standing, proud to steal her anything she sees. But you'll wind up peeking through a keyhole down upon your knees. She never stumbles, she's got no place to fall. She never stumbles, got no place to fall. But she's nobody's child. No one can touch her at all. Could you tell I missed the lyrics on that one?
Good cover. Professional.
And she wears Egyptian rings, sparkles before she speaks. She wears Egyptian rings, sparkles before she speaks. She's a hypnotist collector. You are a walking antique. Bow down to her Sunday, salute her when her birthday comes. Bow down to her on Sunday, salute her when her birthday comes. For Halloween, buy her trumpet, for Christmas, a drum. I think it is the rain. I feel kind of swollen.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, kind of. Anyway, the Bloom Doggy Hands, which we're going to be playing. Alright, this is a tune I wrote. It was written after I was being antisocial looking at Facebook on my phone. I went straight, I was kind of looking through and I was looking at these posts going down and kind of saying, I think there might be a song here. So I sort of put it all together. I think I'm gonna do this real She's been quoting Rilke, sipping on some tea. I opened up another window and finished the burgundy. Wallowing in the echo, chambers of the heart, giving timeless problems a brand new start. Guess everyone has got their own ways to be alone, tending to their weeping wounds with methods finally home. She's posting quotations now up upon her wall. I'm going through old comments and I'm trying to delete them all. Some make witty statements on pictures of kittens. Others take the time to repost what's already been written. But ain't it nice to have the luxury to be lonely? Take your problems down from the shelf, turn them over, examine them slowly. Nothing on your mind but yourself. She knows everything, someday's gonna change, but it's hard in 144 letters not to sound a little lame. He's hoping for some meaning, hitting refresh again. Life goes on around as you're busy checking in. But ain't it nice having the luxury to be lonely? Take your problems down from the shelf, turn them over, examine them slowly. Nothing on your mind but yourself. The people, well, they're waiting for a little sign that tells them someone out there feeling the same there and then. Ain't it nice to have the luxury to be lonely? Take your problems down from the shelf, turn them over, examine them slowly. Nothing on your mind but yourself. Nothing on your mind but yourself. Sure you've all had enough. This is the one with water. Get chairs, get water.
Uh-huh.
I'm good. Thank you.
We treat our artists well.
Where's the artist? All right, so all right, so this last one is good because I only had 5 songs printed anyway. This is I've tried this I think before. Maybe you have to remind me, or maybe you don't want to remind me. Don't remind me. It's a little thing I'm working on. It's called Banjovi. This is the beginning of something big. I'm gonna quit my day job. Tommy used to work on the docks. Union's been on strike and he's down on his luck. It's tough, so tough. She worked diner all day, working for a man. She brings home her pay for love, for love. She said we gotta hold on to what we got. Doesn't make a difference if we make it or not. We got each other and that's the life for love. We'll give it a shot. Tom's got a 6-string and hot. Now he's holding in what he used to. Make it talk so tough. So tough. She dreams of running away. She cries in the night. Tom whispers, baby, it's okay. Someday. He said we gotta hold on to what we got. Doesn't make a difference if we make it or not. We got each other and that's a life for love. Give it a shot. Gotta hold on, ready all night when you live for the fight, when it's all that you got. Well, we're halfway there. Well, we're living on prayer. Take my hand and we'll make it, I swear. Oh, we're living on prayer. You make mistakes, just keep on making them.
Thanks, Dan.
Give it up again for Paul.
All right, Paul. Okay. Okay.
And I don't mind saying, by the way, that was so much better than Bon Jovi's. It's not even close. That was great.
We won't tell him.
No, I can tell him.
Okay.
I can tell him. His keyboard player, by the way, went to camp with me when I was a kid. You know, but that's true, by the way. But I like that much more. So before we welcome up our next artist, who is a spoken word artist, there's just a little bit of housekeeping that I want to do. A couple of reminders and things to let you know. First of all, rain or no rain, open mic. This is a function, especially this week, I should say, of the Junebug Art Festival, which is brought to us by, thank you, which will be strong and outdoor and everywhere in Metuchen next Friday, because it's not going to do this again next Friday. And Junebug is brought to us by the a cross between the Chamber, a co-pro, I guess, between the Chamber of Commerce and the Arts Council. And yeah, we dig the Arts Council, and in fact, the Arts Council also is the sponsor of open mic in general. So most of the Arts Council events are free, and those that aren't are cheap. You should always support the Arts Council events because they're all over town, and we're really just running stronger than we ever have before. And I think for the moment that's it, other than to also remind you to support to be continued, because they've got events like this going on all the time. Here we are right now on this rainy night. There's a crowd of us right here And that's cool. So thank you for making sure that you're,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let us not forget also, they are the independent bookstore in town. And so as two independent authors and musicians and illustrator, my wife Kim over here, independent bookstore is important to us. It's near and dear to our heart, not just our livelihood, but the whole, it serves really as a building and a philosophical place of import, real import and communication and the free exchange of ideas. And you're not going to get that at every Barnes & Noble, I promise you. Maybe you're going to get Starbucks, but it ain't the same thing. So, and here I don't think that a cup of coffee costs you $5. So
No, it doesn't.
No.
$7.99 with tax.
there you go. So, so I think that's all the housekeeping I have for right now. let's welcome up John.
Right.
Please give him a hand.
Right,
Good luck to you. Is that funny?
That's pretty good. Can you guys hear me back there? Yeah. All right, great. Mr. Paul, you were talking about your somebody in a bike in your first song. That was probably me. I don't know what the hell said that. But yeah, actually, I was looking at some of these chairs right here, and they're really, really nice. Who made these? These chairs are nice. I actually used to go to school at Piscataway Voltech, and I was a carpentry student, and we actually had to hand make something nice. So I actually hand made this chair, and I routed it out, and I donated to the school of John Adams over there, and it got a lot of press. We ended up, actually going on TV. So if you want to get some publicity, donate it to a school, and get the press involved. You actually get on TV for that.
Yeah.
But all right. My name is John. Those who don't know me, I actually ended up writing poetry books and children's books for the bookstore. But a while back, probably about last week, I think it was, one of the funniest instances happened at the bookstore. And I always come here. I actually work for UPS right down the street. We do a lot of the shipping for most of the businesses in town. And, I pop in every, once or twice a day. And one of the funniest things happened, and Sergio's like, you know what, when we have open mic, you need to talk. I was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm like, fine. Like, okay. So what ended up happening, and I met my dermatologist about 2.5 weeks ago, and she said, you have pretty good skin, summer's coming up, make sure you use, suntan lotion and everything. All right, so she gave me this, she recommended some Clearasil for me and everything like that. And it was great. Clarisil's got the white cream, it's got the blue ball thing that goes, all up in your face and everything like that. And I'm like, you know what, fine. So I used it that morning, and I'm like, all right, I'm in a rush, get my suit on, I come in, I get ready for the books, and I sit down, and I'm looking over the work I gotta do, and I start doing this, and I'm like, oh man, it's all over. And I get up, and I'm looking at Sergio over here, I'm like, Sergio, I gotta use the bathroom, I got blue balls on my face, I gotta clear this off. And Sergio starts laughing, all right? He starts laughing, I'm like, what's so funny? He's like, all right, fine, just go. I'm like, fine, I went to the bathroom, and the whole thing is at the side of my face, and I didn't realize it. And so I'm like, oh man, I washed it out. And I come back over here sitting down, and Sergio's still laughing. He's like, tell Karen. Karen's just why I'm sitting over here. I'm like, fine. I'm like, Karen, I had no problem. I was sitting down, and I realized I had blue balls on my face. And she started laughing. And I'm like, what are you guys laughing about? And they just start laughing hard. I'm like, come on. I'm one of your best customers. You can't laugh at me like that. And Sergio's like, you don't realize what you're talking about there. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, tell it back to yourself. I'm like, there's nothing. I just read it, and I realized I had blue balls on my face. And I'm like, damn. I was like, why didn't you just say so? Why'd you have to go and laugh? And the guy's like, don't worry about it. Nobody's going to know. And then Asa comes in. He's like, Asa, hey, listen to what John just said. And I'm like, oh, God. Now the whole community of Metuchen is going to know that I had these blue balls on my face. I'm like, come on. And then he comes in. He's like, hey, tell him. I'm like, God, this guy's going to embarrass me. I'm 24 years old. Hey, come on in. It's too wet outside. I'm 24 years old, and the whole neighborhood that comes in, passes by, is laughing at me. One of the guys passes by. He's like, hey, come on in. This is crazy. I'm about ready to pack up my stuff and literally just leave. And I'm like, you know what? Next time I'm gonna make sure my dermatologist doesn't recommend something with these small little bubbles. And I looked on the back of it, I brought it in, he's like, read the back of it. And those small little bubbles, you're supposed to rub it into your face and it's supposed to exfoliate your face. The problem is they tell you you're supposed to wash your whole face. I didn't read the directions on it. I thought I knew what I was doing, but I didn't. And it was just this huge white and blue line going right down here. And I forgot to shave that morning. And till this day, they're still, every time they see me, it's like, hey, John, you clean the side of your face? And I'm like, yeah, I got it. And to this day, he still laughs at it, you know? Every time he sees me, he still laughs. That's one of those jokes that always stick with you, you know? But you know what? He's still a friend of mine, and, you know, I always come to this bookstore, and I always support it. And, you know, I'm thankful he's I don't know if I should say good friend, because good friends tell people if you got the balls in your face. Thanks a lot, Sergio. All right, but that's it. Just wanted to share that funny story. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. All right, give it up again for John.
All right, John.
Bob and Rob, are you both coming up? Okay, Bob and Rob. Or is it Rob and Bob? I don't know how you want to be billed. Maybe it's just Bob.
I sit? I want to sit on this chair.
Can you sit on the chair?
Absolutely.
It's a sittable chair. It's a bum-safe chair. Read the back of the chair. Sit on your heart. Sit on your heart. I like it, but I wouldn't call it art.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh, the
Because this blue one's very
nice.
Product placement.
There you go. Hey, you want me to sit on it? Absolutely. Functionally artsy.
Like, is that all you need is one mic?
And
And you need to be plugged in.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
So,
Are we here? Everything good? Well. Yeah.
okay.
Play Promised Land?
I do.
These chairs really are comfortable. Alright. This one is called a Promised Land. Dear Peter, I think I'm lost. Where is my promised land? Well, I don't know where I've been. Just when will this trip end? Well, I don't know where I stand. I don't know where I stand. Dear Stephen, can you hear my call? Take a hold of my hand. don't know where I stand. I don't know where I stand. Well, I don't know where I stand.
Thank you.
It's fine. It's a good song for the weather, I think. You want to try Place I Don't Know Where? Remember that one?
I don't want to try. I don't want to do it.
Okay, let's this is called A Place I Don't Know Where. We haven't practiced one once, but we'll give it a shot. Do you ever think about the things you said? I don't think that you do. Do you ever think what the words truly meant? I don't think that you do. Do you ever think about the consequences? No, I don't think you do that either. Well, I've thought about many things, but I've given up trying to decipher this. Given up trying to make sense of this, when the only conclusion is the obvious one. The love we had is lost, and what we held is tossed. And what was his strongest stone is now vaporized in air and taken by the wind to somewhere far from here. To I don't know where. They say when the water around is cold, eventually you die. And all this time, it's a miracle I survived. It's a miracle I survived. I guess my heart just won't grow cold as much as yours is black inside. Okay, maybe when I think straight, I'll know you're not the only one to blame. When both of us is changed, well, I'm angry and I'm bitter, and now I'm left to figure out why we both treat strangers better than each other. The love we had is lost, and what we held is tossed. And what was his strongest stone is now vaporized in air. Love we had is lost. Oh, and what we held is tossed. And what was his strongest stone is now vaporized in air and taken by the wind to somewhere far from here. cure with an alcohol in a bar.
Tough mixture.
Good combination.
Yeah.
Ready?
Oh, when I saw her, my senses cringed. She was up against the jukebox. Her hair was slightly singed. Oh, I think I'll have another drink. I feel like the vodka began to take its toll. I feel I've got my nerve up, my shining still control. Have I had too much to drink? I took a time out to think too much. Did I want her or just her touch? Is everything like I think I see? Or is my mind playing tricks on me? Oh, anti-love song. Oh, anti-love song. Oh. I walked up to her and I said that she looked fine. I said I'd like to get to know her, but she didn't have the time. Oh, I gotta take some time to think. Is there something wrong with me? Have I got a disability? Just who the hell does she think she is? A beauty queen or a goddess? Oh, anti-love song. Oh, anti-love
Thank you very much. Very, very good.
Take what I get. Thank you. Oh. This is Emma Jane. This is wrote this song back when my daughter was an infant. Now she's 15, soon to be 16, and I so miss those days. You'll find out someday. All right. Loud sound heard in the world. And I thought that I could hear a subtle whisper in my ear, say I'll always be my daddy's little